Hello guys, this is your boy Snopsic here, back at it again with another gear review. So I know it is coming to the end of ski season, snowshoe, snowboard season, whatever your backcountry activity might be, but I thought now would be a good time to reflect a little bit and take a look at a product that I've used a lot this winter, and that is the Black Diamond. I'm already dropping things. And that product is the Black Diamond Recon Avalanche set. This Avalanche set consists of three parts. We have the beacon, which is the Black Diamond Recon BT, where the name of the set comes from. The Black Diamond Transfer 3 shovel. And the Black Diamond Tour 280 probe. So I thought we would go through each one of these, give them a quick rundown, and I'll give you some of my thoughts on the different items and the set as a whole. So we'll start with the probe. Since this is a fairly simple one, it comes in a little stuff sack, which is useful for storage. I almost never take it in the field, but good to have. The probe itself, very simple. It's got pretty clear markings. As you can see, some of the paint and stuff might be starting to chip a little bit, but for the most part it's held up pretty well. It's got a nice locking mechanism here at the top with a quick release there. It's got a large pull handle that you can easily use to snap the probe together when you do that quick. It's got a nice point along here that's a little bit rounded, penetrates snow very well, but hopefully with the rounded tip it's a little less likely to penetrate a person or like a bag or whatever if you're practicing. And so far I've been very happy with this one. It's a nice mid-length probe. It's not the longest and it's not the shortest. For more interior snowpacks like Colorado and things like that, continental snowpacks, this should be a great option. And for even deeper snowpacks like here in the Pacific Northwest, this is totally a workable option. But people here will often even go up to like 320 centimeter probes, but this is a totally workable one even in the deeper snowpacks like out here in the Pacific Northwest. I've used this one for a lot of my training and it's held up really well, and I've enjoyed using it. It is an aluminum probe, so it's going to be a little bit heavier than like a carbon one or whatever, but it is less brittle. And I think for an introductory probe, which really the set is meant as an introductory set, to go together, I think it works really well, and I think this is a probe that you'll get a lot of use out of, and maybe sure one day you grow into a lighter probe or a more expensive one or whatever, but I think for the vast majority of backcountry recreationists, especially if you're just getting into it, this is a great tool to have. Next we'll take a look at the shovel. This is the Black Diamond Transfer 3. I'm going to throw the weight on screen now. There it is. But what I've noticed is this is definitely a nice mid-range shovel. It's not going to be the lightest, it's not going to be the heaviest. Scoop size, it's a nice scoop shape. It's got a nice edge along the bottom here for chopping snow. And I found it to be a good mid-sized shovel. Now there are certain shovels out there that are a lot larger than this, and there's some shovels that are smaller. But again, Black Diamond right here is trying to create sort of a good introductory basic set, and I think they've gone with a good size on the shovel here. It's not too large that it becomes cumbersome, but it is big enough to effectively move some snow very quickly, which is what you need. And then of course the handle. The handle is a telescoping one, so you can shorten it for storage or whatever, and then you can of course fully extend it. It's got a nice T-handle up here that is plastic. I mean, it's a workable handle. Maybe not the greatest if you're wearing mitts or whatever, but otherwise it works well. I've dug a lot of snow pits, done practice digging, a lot of different stuff with this, chopped wind blocks and things to fortify like a tent and stuff, and it's done a really good job. Yeah, you can definitely chop through. As you can see, you can see, you know, some use there, but I've chopped through some hard snow in this. It does a good job. I wish that it had like a hoe feature where you could change the angle of the handle. That would be nice, but it does not. And again, it doesn't compact very small, so that is a definite con. Is like some Black Diamond shovels, the handle can collapse all the way inside the shovel for more expensive models. But again, this is sort of an introductory, more basic model, and I think for most applications, for most people, it should be a fine option. Another thing you can do with it, of course, is you can separate it totally. So you can take off this handle part, and you can take off the basket. So if you want to store it separate for whatever reason, you can do that as well. You have it in these 3 pieces, but I rarely do that. So that's your Black Diamond Transfer 3. Excellent shovel. And finally, you get into the meat of this. This is the real reason the set is so expensive, and that's because of the Recon BT, which is the Avalanche beacon that it comes with. Now, one thing to note though is that if you do buy these components separately, it probably will cost more than this set, and I think that's one of the biggest benefits of this set, is especially if you're just getting into this activity, this is your first set of Avalanche gear. I think buying a set like this is a really smart move, just because you got everything you need. It's going to work fairly well together. Of course, the color scheme matches. Usually companies will give you a little bit of that sort of bulk discount when you buy these 3 parts together, and so when you end up purchasing a set, whether it's from Black Diamond or any other company, Vox, Mammut, whatever it is, you're going to probably get a better deal than buying the parts separately. Now, there are benefits to buying separately. You can get usually lighter components. If you have more high-end components, or you have specific needs, like you really want a really big scoop, a shovel with a large scoop, or you want a specific length of probe, or you want that carbon fiber, or you want the collapsible handle, all of those things, you can totally do that, and that's what allows you to customize your kit a little bit more if you buy separately. But usually when you're buying separately and you have those specific needs, that means you've been out in the field, you've done this for a season or a couple seasons, and you've been using your gear, and you realize what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and you're ready to switch things up to improve your kit. After going out for a while, you realize, yeah, I really do want a shovel that has the handle that totally collapses like into the basket, like some other Black Diamond models. Then you can go out and buy that shovel, right? You're like, oh, I need a longer probe, or I want a lighter probe, or maybe I need a shorter. I could make it with a shorter probe, so I might get that to save weight, right? Once you know all of that, odds are you've already been doing this for a while, and so this sort of all-inclusive kit is not designed for those users that already have that experience and know exactly what they want from certain things. But the goal of this kit is to give introductory backcountry recreationists the tools that they need to learn and to stay safe out there. These are just sort of more generalist tools that then in the future you can build upon by purchasing separate components and things. But again, I think this is a really good value for that introductory level. Now, taking a look at this transceiver, it also comes, of course, with its own chest harness, and it's a simple Black Diamond transceiver. It's got a nice digital display here. It's got flagging features, so you can flag multiple burials, which is very handy. You have your search and send functions, of course. It's got a locking slider, as they should. This is a triple antenna. I've really enjoyed using this. It's got a few little instructions on the back there. But this beacon served me well for various Avalanche courses and lots of practice. And I've enjoyed using it. The locking mechanism can be a bit finicky, especially going into the search feature. I find it sometimes when you have to unlock and then slide this up, and I find that sometimes it can get stuck or jammed or whatever, which can be a bit annoying. But really, other than that minor mechanical hiccup here, it's done really well. And another thing about that locking though is it always locks when going into send. I've never had any problems putting it locking it in the send position. If I have been having problems, again, that would be a potentially unsafe situation if your transceiver wasn't locking. That is not the case. But when going into search, I find sometimes it can be a little difficult to get the lock thing into the slider. But again, I have never felt unsafe using this. It may not have all of the pro features or whatever, but for 99% of what you're going to be doing out there to stay safe and to learn and practice, this will totally work. And the display and the readout, the arrows that it uses, the meters, it'll tell you about if there's multiple burials, all of that sort of stuff. Very useful. I've not had a problem using this, and I've used it in a variety of situations. It has worked well in all of those. Of course, I've never had to use it in an actual burial, and I hope I never do. But from all of the practice and things, I've enjoyed using it, and the chest harness also works really well with it. So that's great to see that included as well. Overall, my thoughts on this kit, again, it's a great introductory kit. It's affordable for what it is. It's going to offer you a better price than buying these components separately. So if you're just getting into it, I think this is a great option. If you're a more experienced user, you might look at customizing your kit a little bit more, since you might know more of what you like or what you need. But for someone who's just getting into this, I think this is an awesome option, and I would highly recommend checking out the Black Diamond Recon Avy set. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.